What were your first impressions when you arrived at Anfield?
Well, I mean, as a kid, I mean, I played. Well, I watched them from the terraces. Watched like the Ron Yeating, St John, Tommy Lawrence in goal, Jerry Byrne, Chris Lawler, Tommy Smith. All that was my first impression of Liverpool. But when I actually joined the club, there was no other club I wanted to join anyway. I wasn't interested in the ones over the park, in the Blue Quarter or anywhere else. Just Liverpool Football Club, and I mean, you couldn't do anything else but be impressed, by the club and what the side they were.
Yeah. When you arrived, it was basically the season just after Bill Shankly had left. Is that right?
Well, more or less. I was here when Shanks was here, but I was a semi-pro. I was on a semi-pro contract for 2 years, from the age of 18 to 20, and then I signed full-time pro when I was 20 years of age, and that's when Mr. Shankly left and Bob Paisley took over. And just before my 21st birthday, that's when I got my debut, so to speak.
And that was the double season when you did the U.E.F.A Cup and the
yeah, that was my first season. We won the league championship and the U.E.F.A Cup, which was a home and away two-legged final against Bruges of Belgium.
Which is what I wanted to actually ask you about. In the Mexico '86 World Cup, I remember when Argentina played England, Bobby Robson spotted a weakness on the right-hand side of the defence for the Argentinians, and he put John Barnes on, and John Barnes made a real impression.
Yeah.
You were 2-0 down at half-time, because one thing I noticed about the goals in that game is they all come on the right-hand side of the Bruges attack. I think it was Bastines. Was he the defender? Yeah. I think he was the captain and the defender.
Well, I mean,
did Bob Paisley notice a similar kind of weakness?
Well, I mean, he was the great tactician, Bob Paisley. He was the man behind all that, and Joe Fagan was there as well. But I remember I was sub. Half-time came and we were 2-0 down. And I remember Bob Paisley coming in and saying to me, get yourself ready, tie-ups on, pads on, everything. You're going straight on. We're taking John Toshak off and we're putting you on right away. And I was thinking to myself, they're not even waiting 10 minutes to see how they get on.
Yeah.
So obviously Bob had seen something, tactically, whatever we need to do, we need to change it somewhat. So I thought they were going to hit me with a load of tactics, and that was where I was getting myself keyed up to go on. And they come over to me, Joe Fagan and Bob Paisley and he said to me, Jimmy, are you ready? I said, yeah, I'm ready, boss, yeah. And I was expecting a load of tactics. And what they said to me, he said, what we want you to do is go on and cause bloody havoc. Which I did, in terms of closing them down and unsettling their side a little bit more. And everybody started doing similar fashion, getting closed in, and we eventually got back to 3-2 and won the game over there as well. So
because you had a good chance quite early in the second half, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, I scored one of the goals. Ray Kennedy scored, and I think Kevin scored. So it was one of them games where we had to pull out all the stops, and there was a significant change. Not that Toshak was playing badly; it was just a change in a tactical situation. What Bob Paisley saw.
My brother, years and years ago, told me that he was at a game and he said to me, one of the best goals I've ever seen was Jimmy Case's against Grimsby. Do you remember that goal?
No, I don't remember any of them goals, like them type ones.
No?
I can't remember.
That's so long in the memory.
That's where you need to do all the research. I mean, I can't remember stuff what you're going to go through now. So.
No, that's fine. Okay. Right, well, would you say probably the greatest memory in a Liverpool shirt was the European Cup Final?
Yeah, I mean, the European Cup Final in 1977 was one where, we'd lost the FA Cup against that team up in Manchester, and we'd already won the league championship, but that was my second year at Liverpool. And winning the league championship again, and also being involved in the treble, which obviously we didn't make because we lost the final against them up the road 2-1, which I scored an equaliser during the game, which was great. I think that season was one of the better seasons for the club, and obviously going over to Rome and winning the European Cup in Rome. It was the amount of fans that turned up, to be honest. 3/4 of the stadium was red and white checkered flags, and the Germans, they didn't turn up, basically their support, whether they thought they had no chance or it was whatever, but we took the whole place over, and deservedly so. we won the game, but deservedly so for the fans that managed to get there. They sold cars, they went by rail and overland and everything, so they deserved it.
Oh, brilliant. Listen, I'll let you go now. You've got to get to Southampton.
Yeah,
Honestly, I really appreciate you taking your time. Thanks ever so much. You take care. So take care.
Bye now.
Bye-bye now.